Good afternoon, Reds. How are we? Welcome back to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand. A bit of breaking news this one on a story that's been circulating and emphasised and highlighted mainly by rival fans. But we're going to get into it now. Klopp is not going anywhere, especially Real Madrid, right? There's no chance. Smash that like button, get your comments into this story. We're also going to be going through some of the key quotes from Arne Slot's press conference about 5 hours ago where he spoke to the media ahead of the Leicester game, where a lot of journalists were trying to probe the big fella on potentially, Liverpool winning the league this weekend and not next weekend. We'll get into all that. But Jurgen Klopp, as we know, as we were aware of some reports circulating in the last 48 hours, that he was not happy at his post at Red Bull, that he was agreeing to negotiations, starting to talk to Real Madrid. We also are aware of the fact that on the 26th of April, this is also quite crazy. The 26th of April, it seems like, after the Copa del Rey final, that Carlo Ancelotti will step down as Real Madrid manager, leaving a vacancy in the summer. If I was a betting man, which I won the Grand National a couple of weeks ago for the first time ever, so I might be, then I would say Xabi Alonso is almost a shoo-in for that role, is he not? Anyway, let's get into these quotes today that come from Jurgen Klopp's agent that very much play down the story linking Jurgen Klopp to him allegedly agreeing to start negotiations with Real Madrid. Fabrizio's just tweeted it as well. Jurgen Klopp's agent, Mark Kosicke, plays down reports on Real Madrid and Brazil. Let's not forget, he was also linked to Brazil. I also think Carlo Ancelotti's a shoo-in for the Brazil job, by the way. But he says this: Jurgen is very happy with his new role as head of global soccer at Red Bull. He's fully focused and happy there. So again, this is normally what happens, isn't it? Agents get hold of a story. They either big it up or play it down. We've seen agents come out recently, including Ryan Gravenberch's agent, linking him with the move to Madrid. We've also heard of Alexis McAllister's old fellow, who's his agent, I think, come out and say there's no there's no truth in the rumours of Alexis going to Madrid. It just seems like every single player and manager, ex-manager, is being linked to Real Madrid. Obviously, they're taking one of our players this summer already, so let's try and keep it to an absolute minimum. But Jurgen Klopp, as I said, was linked to the Madrid job, and I laughed it off. I think a lot of rival fans, including Matisse, so hold that, you absolute sausage. Yeah, you lost to Legia Warsaw last night, you pleb. Him in particular was trying to build up this rumour saying, oh, Klopp's definitely going to Madrid. Well, it was never happening. It was never happening. And Liverpool fans who remember the famous Jurgen Klopp quote when he announced to the world's media that he was going to leave Liverpool, remember he said he's run out of energy? So if he's run out of energy managing Liverpool, why would he suddenly want to go to the biggest job in the world and manage Real Madrid? What in the world would make him want to do that with the most pressure? Not to mention the fact, by the way, that he probably hates Madrid after we've lost 2 Champions League finals to them, and he probably doesn't like how they operate as well. So he's happy as Larry, right? He's kicking back, he's earning his millions, he's drinking a bit of Red Bull, probably having a little cigarette when he wants to as well, living life, doing his thing. I've seen him all over the gaff. In Brazil recently, I've seen him in South Africa, seen him in America. It truly is a global soccer ambassador role, and he's taken it very seriously. And if you follow Kloppo on Instagram, you would have seen how it is. I mean, it's fairly easy not to notice his big white teeth, but he's been smiling all around the world. So there's no reasoning really to think that he would be unhappy at his role at Red Bull. And again, it's mainly rival fans that are coming out and saying, "Oh, Klopp's going to Madrid." Matisse especially, just to mention him again, said, "Oh no, you can't go to Madrid because they beat us in 2 Champions League finals." Well, it was never happening anyway. It was never happening anyway. So Jurgen Klopp, happy at Red Bull. The fact that we're even speaking about this means that obviously there was a need for his agent Mark to come out and actually dequalify the stories. So we're sitting here telling you that on the back of that news, there's no way Jurgen Klopp was ever going to Madrid. My key question to you guys at home: are you happy with this news? Is it even news? But how would you have felt if Jurgen Klopp did go to Real Madrid and manage Real Madrid? Whew, not for me. I could never have seen that. And Real Madrid being the club they are, I think if I was to choose a club in Spain that he probably would go to, it would be Barcelona. A very socialist kind of section, if you want to call it that, area in Spain, similar to Liverpool in that sense. So I can't ever imagine Jurgen Klopp managing Real Madrid. There is, of course, the Adidas link, but that was never going to happen. So how do you feel? And how would you have felt if Jurgen Klopp did actually one day manage Real Madrid? I mean, he's come out how many times and said he's very, very, very happy to never manage ever again. So as we know, it was a load of rubbish, and we can confirm that now. So big up. Looking ahead to the Leicester game, we did the match preview, of course, so go and watch that. That's out at 5 o'clock. Arne Slot today discussed Liverpool's approach to Leicester City, the possibility of winning the Premier League, and how the club plans this summer transfer window. Some interesting quotes here, and I want your opinions to these in the chat. On the thought that he has given, on what thought he has given to the fact that Liverpool could be crowned champions on Sunday, my thoughts are not on it at all. My thoughts are, as always, on Leicester and how our team can improve, what we can do better. We couldn't do many things better in the first half against West Ham, but we could do a lot of better things in the second half. So during the week, we have worked on that a lot, and we're working towards Leicester, one game at a time, influence the ones we can influence, and that's the Leicester game. He said he really hasn't thought about winning the title imminently. I'm not sure you believe me, but that's the honest answer. My whole life I'm living at the moment is in the day. I'm not looking backwards. I'm not looking forwards. That's not the type of person that I am. To try and enjoy it, try and enjoy the whole journey. But the only thing you are thinking of as a manager, at the weekend there's a game coming up and we need to win that. So he's playing it down, and this is the thing that I think Liverpool fans have really enjoyed from Arne Slot's tenure so far. People prod him, people poke him, but he's very much played it down, kept his head, and made sure to not think too far ahead, right? So big him up, man. On the summer transfer window, this is a really big one, right? Yes, we heard the other day that there's a big summer planned for Liverpool, and he said, I think at Liverpool there's always a big summer at a club like this. It's already a big summer now because of the players that don't follow everything in the media, me neither. But what do I know sitting here every time is that it is a big thing. Can we hold on to them? And by holding on to the two, it's already a big summer. But let's see what the rest of the summer will bring. It would be strange for me now to say I'm not happy with the team, because I've said this a year, I've got a great team. So we're happy with the team we are having. So maybe if we can help that team, that would already be a big summer. Is he playing down the war chest that was supposedly available to Liverpool in the summer? I wouldn't say so. He's saying, look, we've got a fantastic squad, a fantastic team, which we do. He knows, Richard Hughes knows, FSG know, Michael Edwards know, and a majority of the fans as well know, and the players know, that there will be definitely some big names coming in. Maybe not big names, big signings. And when I say big signings, what I'm referring to is a left back. It looks like Milos Kerkez will come to Liverpool, which I can't wait for. Definitely an upgrade on what we've got now in terms of the youth and the legs and kind of where he's at in his career. But you definitely keep hold of Robertson next season. Probably time for Tsimikas to go. He'd also probably be looking at another winger / striker if Darwin Núñez / Diogo Jota decide to leave Liverpool. But he said on whether he agrees with the opinion you go backwards if you stand still by not being active in the transfer market. I mean, this is something that Liverpool did do. When we won the league, we did stand still in the market. Yes, we brought in Thiago, Jota, I think Kostas Tsimikas in 2020. But in 2021, there was barely any signings. Yes, we got, Konate and Diaz, I think it was in January. But apart from that, there have been arguments to say that Liverpool have stood still in the market and not really backed the manager after a big win. So he said to that, we showed the opposite last season because we didn't change anything. And I don't think we went downwards. And that's a very good point. Liverpool barely did any transfer dealings last summer. Yes, we got Chiesa in last minute. But actually, standing still won you the league. So I understand his point there. But he says, yes, in general, I agree with you. But there is also a lot of study being done. The longer a team plays together, the more success it has, which is also a very valid point. He's got a lot of them. The core of the team you want to keep together as long as you can. Also, in general, it's good to have some new energy in and around the place with one or two new players. That I agree on. One or two. I mean, I think I said in a video recently, Liverpool need maybe 5 to 7 And that's only reacting off to players that would be leaving Liverpool. That's not, if we kept this squad, we need 7 more players. No, we're probably going to see 3 or 4 or 5 leave this summer. So naturally, you have to replace them, right? He said it isn't really a necessity if you look at the quality we have and the quality of the season we've had. We saw during the week how good a Newcastle team is. They are third now. They played well, and they didn't buy anyone really. What a league we are in, he says. So I don't think he's playing down the rumours. I think he's just trying to control the narrative a bit. He doesn't want the war chest really being mentioned in a Premier League press conference pre-game. He doesn't really want people to know if Liverpool are going to be spending money, because if they do, obviously the club like a Bournemouth could say, right, well, instead of 35, we want 45 for Kirkez. He's playing it down. He's being pragmatic. But I saw a joke on Twitter that said, is he aware of who our owners are, when the story flew around that we would have a war chest in the summer. So for me personally, listen, he's admitted there, we're definitely getting 1 or 2 in, but it also depends on the players that leave Liverpool in the summer. So how much do you want to see Liverpool spend? Realistically, how much will they spend? Which players do you want to see come in? Which players do you definitely want to see go out? How many need to come in? How many need to go out? Let me know in the comment section right now. Massive, massive, massive game on Sunday. We could potentially win the league. I mean, Arsenal are definitely going to deal with Ipswich, touch wood. I actually am an Arsenal fan from 2 o'clock till 4 o'clock on Sunday. But if you are in London, this Sunday, I'll be watching the game at the Empire Casino in Leicester Square. There's a mad, crazy, incredible sports bar at the top of the casino, and it's called the King's Sports Bar. So I'm going to be there with Doyle. If you are a Liverpool-based London-based Liverpool fan, get yourselves down to Leicester Square and watch the game with us. We're going to be doing a vlog. We're going to be doing fan cams there as well. And then, of course, next week, this could be the greatest week of my life and your life. That's potential. Well, it's more than potential, because if Liverpool beat Leicester on Sunday, which I've predicted we will by 4-0, then we play Spurs next Sunday at Anfield and win the league, potentially, if we beat them. And, you know, we're starting to think about plans now for the parade, thinking about good spots to film in, dishing out free Arne Slot trim. So if you want a little bold trim by me or Doyle or Mario, then make sure you get down to our little stall on the parade. So loads of things to come on the Kop TV. Hot topics as well on Monday. Be speaking about the game. And then, of course, the end of the season, it's party time, people. Fan cams from outside the ground, away trips, you know, vlogs, little movies made. We're going to do everything to make sure that we really encapsulate on the ground, in the city, how it's going to feel to win a Premier League. So I can't wait for the next month. It's going to be some month to be a Red. People have had so long now to prepare plans for the parade. There's no Champions League final the night before that people are going to have to get back from. So it's just good times ahead if you're Red, all right? And that rhymed as well. So Jurgen Klopp is not going to Madrid. Let me get your reaction to that. And also, how do you feel about Arne Slot's interesting choice of words when talking about potential incomings at Anfield this season? Smash that like button, get your comments in, subscribe, and we'll see you later. Take care.